Hey guys, welcome to the 66th C# tutorial that I'm making for the new Boston. And in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to use Bitwise Operators a little bit more. So all you're going to need for this tutorial is a button, a short that is equal to 3, and a message box displaying that short in binary. So in the previous tutorial, we looked at bits and we looked at the not or the invert Bitwise operator. In this tutorial, we're going to be looking at the AND operator first. And the AND operator is not the same AND operator that we used in if statements. The AND operator that we used in if statements is 2 ANDs. Well, we're going to be only looking at 1 AND for right now. So we're just going to do 3 and 5. And this AND operator requires 2 numbers for me to have one before it and one in front of it. So we're going to do 3 and 5. And no, this will not add the 2 together. Instead, it compares the 2 at a bitwise level. So first, let's look at what 3 in binary is. 3 in binary is 1, 1. So right here, I'm just going to put 0, 1, 1, because putting a 0 in front of it doesn't change the value. Then I'm just going to put AND, and then I'm going to put what 5 in binary is. 5 in binary is 1, 0, 1. So I'm just going to put 1, 0, 1 here, put an equal sign. So what it will do is it will do 3 and 5. Or on a bitwise level, it'll do 0, 1, 1, and 1, 0, 1. And like I said before, it will not add them together. Instead, it will compare them. And since these two are the same, it will do a 1. So since these are both 1s, then it'll do a 1. If these are different bits, then it will do a 0. And since these are different again, it will do a 0. And since all these ones in front of it are all zeros, it'll just do a whole bunch of zeros. Because if they're the same, it'll do what they are the same at. So since these are both 1s, it'll do a 1. And since these are both all in front of here are all zeros, it'll do a 0. So in a message box, we should just get a 1. Yep. And if we were to look at the AND operator doing 3 and 5, or 3 and 4, let's look at what 4 is in binary. 4 in binary is 1, 0, 0. So let's change this to a 0. So now, once again, it will check to see if these are the same. 1 and 0 are not the same, so it'll put a 0. Again, 1 and 0 are not the same, so it'll do a 0. And 0 and 1 are not the same, so it'll do a 0. And all the ones in front are all zeros, so 0 and 0 is 0, so it'll be a bunch of zeros. So in a message box, we should just get a 0. Yep. Now let's take a look at the OR operator. And just like in the if statements, we're not doing 2 ORs, we're only doing 1. So we'll just do 3 or 4. And what that will do is it will compare the bits just like the AND. So first it will check to see, since these are both different, since 1 is a 1 and 1 is a 0, it will put a 1 this time. So as long as between the 2 bits there is a 1, then it'll put a 1. So since this 1 or 0, do another 1, and 0 or 1, put another 1. So we should just get 1, 1, 1 message box. Yep. Now let's look at 3 or 5. And once again, 5 in binary is 1, 0, 1, so we'll do 1, 0, 1. And we should get the same result, because 1 or 0, since they're both the same, we'll get a 1. Since there's a 1 here, we'll get a 1. And since there's a 1 here, we'll get a 1. So like I said before, as long as there's a 1 between these 2 bits, then we'll get a 1. So we should get 1, 1, 1 in a message box. Yep. And the only way for it to get a 0 over here is if both the bits are zeros. So that's pretty much it for this tutorial, so see you guys.